Psalm 91 verse 5, you will not be afraid of the pestilence that stalks in darkness. This is the third category of evil, pestilence. It's the only evil that he names twice, and God doesn't waste words, so he has a specific reason for repeating it. God knows that the pestilence and the fear that would be running rampant in these end days, last days, he wants us not to be afraid of the deadly pestilence. To be not afraid is so contrary to what the world teaches. We have to renew our thinking. Only then can we comprehend the fact that we don't have to be afraid of the sicknesses and diseases and epidemics that will be happening in the world to those around us. Faith is not a feeling, but choosing to believe what he says in his words will be the most important thing for us to get in these last days. The more we choose to believe God's word, the more we have a knowing, the more we can trust and rely on it completely. Our inheritance is not limited to what is handed down to us genetically from our ancestors. Our inheritance can be what Jesus provided for us if we believe his word. In Galatians 3 verse 13, Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law, having become a curse for us. We are redeemed from every curse if we will believe and appropriate the promise, his promise. God is not shocked or caught off guard by these things. Long before man ever discovered biological weapons, God made provision for a protection for his people, if they would believe his word. In Mark 16, verse 17 to 18, these signs will accompany those who have believed. If they drink any deadly poison, it will not hurt them. To drink is to absorb, to inhale, drink or take into the mind. No evil has been conceived by man against which God has not already provided a promise of protection for any of his children who choose to believe it and act on it. What about the fear that will come on mankind regarding our polluted water supplies and foods contaminated by pesticides or other pollution? We should use wisdom, but all the precautions in the world can't protect us from every evil thing that could be in our food and water. God's instruction is to bless our food and water before eating. It's not simply some ritual to make us look spiritual. Rather, it's another provision for our safety. It plays an important role in God's plan. Exodus 23 verse 25, but you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and will remove all sickness from your midst. It's God's goodness that made the provisions before we ever even asked. It's not for everyone, though. It's for those who believe and know the truth. Blessing the food and water with gratitude literally brings about sanctification or cleansing of our food and water. Pestilence today could be AIDS, cancer, malaria, heart disease, and TB. But no matter what the pestilence we might be facing, his promises never cease to be true. The enemy may try to cause sudden surprises to catch us unawares and break us down, but God is faithful. His word is true no matter what the circumstances look like. Don't let the fear of pestilence keep you from the will of God. Fear of illness and what we allow our minds to dwell on in our choice is our choice. So if we desire protection, we have to take all those negative thoughts and emotions and get rid of them. Say, I am not going there. Any fear will dispel the fear. The promise of protection from plagues and pestilences reminded the Jews of Israel's complete immunity from the Egyptian plagues. The destroyer could not go where the blood is applied. I'll say that again. The destroyer could not go where the blood is or was applied.